Our next question, we have had a number of questions come in about same-gender attraction. So these two are pretty representative of what we have received. So a young single adult from Brazil asked, what would be important for a homosexual young adult to know to stay firm in the gospel, and how can a heterosexual young adult help? And then it says, and a young adult from New York says, the world seems very frustrated with our beliefs on same-gender attraction. How can we show our love to them despite our differences?
This is subject to many of the questions we received. We want to be helpful on this. It's a concern with many, with some personally and with others in behalf of their friends or family members. I'll just start off by repeating something that was told to me by a proud grandparent, saying they had a grandson who was struggling with this problem, and he said, I'm satisfied that I can approach this problem in this way. I'm not going to let my sexuality interfere with my spirituality. I thought that was, in a nutshell, an expression of faith and determination, not to get one thing confused with another.
I certainly endorse that, but I think we also we have to be cautious and willing to listen. We have to be willing to talk to one another about this issue. And for members of the church, there's 2 or 3 things to remember. One is that we make covenants, and then we're striving in our lifetime to keep those covenants. And in the process of that, those who have same-gender attraction are God's children. He loves them. There's a place for them. And for all of our Father's children, regardless of what their circumstances may be, the church is a place of refuge, a place to come and find peace and the answers to life's questions. But ultimately, there are covenants that come into the picture, and all of us have to make that decision in our lives of entering into the sacred covenants that the Lord has told us are important in this journey of mortality. So I think we want to be loving and try to be understanding and try to explain the best that we can the importance of as it relates to the covenants of the gospel. And as all of us strive to keep our covenants, then all the blessings Heavenly Father has in store for His children will surely be given to them.
I just affirm that, and in furtherance of that, remind us that the covenant all of us have made is that we will be willing to bear one another's burdens. That's from the Book of Mormon, Messiah, chapter 18. And in the New Testament, the Apostle Paul says, and so fulfill the law of Christ. So loving one another, despite the differences that inevitably exist in the world along so many different lines, but across all of that is the commandment to love one another and help bear one another's burdens. And that comes first, especially in this subject where bullying and physical brutality and harassment have played a part, I hope never with Latter-day Saints, but verbal abuse, we hear a lot of reports of that, and we just encourage that we struggle with this very real problem in an atmosphere of love. There's one other thing that occurred to me, and that is we need to be cautious not to label ourselves or to label one another. The most important label any of us can carry throughout our life is, I am a child of God. That very simple theme of our wonderful primary hymn. That's the important label that stays with us all our lives. And we shouldn't label ourselves as anti this or that, or this or that, but carry on as children of God and realize that all of us have temptations and problems, inclinations, burdens that we're wrestling with. And if I were a bishop counseling each one of you, I would say, don't label yourself as a this or that, whether the label is kleptomania or I'm from Texas. I single Texas out in that illustration because we all know how proud people are that they're from Texas.
And I apologize to all of the young single adults in Texas.
You see, he always rescues me, and I need it.